Do you find it difficult to come up with content ideas for your podcast? Or perhaps you've gotten stuck during an interview with a guest where you just have nothing to ask anymore? Try Poddex today. Poddex is the best all-in-one podcast idea generation tool. You get everything from episode ideas to interesting conversation starters for interviews, engaging discussions for your live streams, and even social media content ideas. With this tool, you don't have to spend weeks trying to come up with content for an episode or unique questions for your guests. Just shuffle the cards and pick one at random, hit the record button, and get started. Now you can make better content, have more fun while you're at it, and get your viral moment, all with Poddex. Head over to poddex.com and use code C4C. Welcome to day 3 of the Content Creators of Color. I am Kat Corchado, and I am the host of the Sisters in Service podcast. I want to talk today a little bit about multitasking and why women are better at it, if they are, and why we tend to feel as though we need to do it. And these are just my thoughts only. So when you grow up and you go to college, and maybe you leave college, you have a degree, maybe you get a job, maybe you get married, maybe you don't, maybe you have a significant other. And so then all of a sudden you find yourself not just dealing with one task or two tasks, you find that you are multitasking. Now, I feel as though that women are forced into the multitasking realm. Think about it for a second. For those of you that are handling a household, you may work outside of the office or outside of the home, You might have a side hustle, so you're working at that. You may have kids and pets and a significant other or a husband or a wife. Think of all the things that you do, everything. Who do the kids come to? Mom. Mom, where's this? Mom, can you wash that? Mom, when is dinner? Mom, can you drive me here? No, ask your dad. So we're kind of forced into it. And we kind of reluctantly think, I really don't want to do all of this. I mean, you do, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it's so overwhelming. So I want to give you some tips on multitasking. The one thing that I realize is that women make it look so easy, number one, and they make it look like as though they can just do it all the time. But there's a downside to multitasking. How about being tired all the time? How about not taking care of yourself? How about just not wanting to do it on those days? Now, I'm not saying you don't want to be a mom, but there are days when I was a single parent that I just said, I don't want to be a mom today. Can I just have a day? So I get it. So I don't know how many of you out there really think about all the things that you do as far as multitasking, but it's a multitasking kind of world. And I can't think of one person who has the time to focus on one task at a time. The shame of that is that evidence is showing that if you can't multitask correctly, you decrease your productivity rather than making it better. So in theory, if you don't know what you're doing, you could end up wasting your time. So here's some tips. Number 1, try to focus. This best tip for better multitasking is to focus as much as possible. So for instance, what I do, especially when I'm editing a podcast, or maybe if I have 10 or 15 minutes and I have a 30-minute podcast that I have to edit, I might use those 15 minutes just to edit, because at least I'm a little further ahead than I was before. Don't start thinking about other things to do. Focus on that one task. Here's another tip. Maybe put a timer. We all have phones, either iPhone, Android, whatever. It's got a timer on it. Use it. Say, you know what, for 15 minutes, I'm going to work on this. And then focus on that one task for 15 minutes. How about toggle well? You're like, what is toggle? So when you think of multitasking, you probably think of doing 3, 4, or more things at once. But that can be really unproductive or counterproductive. So toggle between 1 and 2 different tasks. That works really well for me. I might be listening to a podcast, or I might be in Clubhouse, and I'm watching TV, although clearly one of those is very unproductive. Try to toggle between 1 or 2 tasks. I find that either doing 1 or 2 usually works really well for me. Any more than that, and I feel like I'm very overwhelmed, that I'm not paying attention. Number 3, finish what you start. So remember when I said I would go back to editing my podcast, I'd put 15 minutes in, I go to something else, I'll come back to it because now I only have 15 more minutes if it's a 30-minute podcast. But finish what you start. Don't leave it for another day unless you absolutely have to, or you're just super tired, which in that case, you shouldn't be doing anything but taking care of yourself. Prioritize. Get your priorities in order. What I mean by that is the most important goes at the top, and then you move down from there. Toggle between number 1 priority and number 2 priority. Sometimes things get shuffled. Okay, as a fitness instructor, sometimes, in my Pilates, I'll have people who will cancel or late cancel or reschedule. And I can't tell you, I take a big sigh of relief sometimes because I might have 2 or 3 in a row. I have to come home, I have to go to a meeting, and that 1 hour just gives me a break to just take a breath. How about organize? So once your tasks are prioritized, you need to organize them. This is one I struggle with a lot. I'm still struggling with it. Organization for me is something I do on a daily basis. So I don't know anyone who's perfect at it. Maybe if you are, maybe you should be on this podcast and we can talk about organization because it's something I struggle with all the time. But it's just good to be organized because maybe you can be on the phone and you could be writing a note about something. Maybe you're on the phone with a friend. You can, just tell them, hey, I'm kind of multitasking here. What's up? That kind of works for me too. Just saying. Time management. You can organize and prioritize, but if you don't handle your time, it's not going to be worth it. Once you have your list of tasks prioritized and organized, you need to make a timeline. Estimate how much time it's going to take for each task to get completed. For those things that take a little bit longer, you may want to reprioritize again. Maybe you can prioritize it to another day if it's going to take longer than you expect. Delegate. Now, I have an issue with this one. Delegation. Who am I delegating to? It's me, myself, and I. That's my team. So if I can't prioritize it, put it at the bottom of the list or prioritize it to another day, then I really need to rethink this and see, is this something I need to be doing right now? So I hope those tips help you. The other part of all of this is when you are multitasking, you need to take care of you. Please take care of yourself, whatever that is. Maybe it's a spa day or a spa weekend or I don't know, a spa month. That sounds great to me, a spa month, but I don't think that exists. But doing those things that are just for you. Trust me, if you have a family, a husband and or kids, they will survive. They'll do what they need to do. Yes, your kids might eat beans and weenies for dinner, but it's okay. Take care of you, keep your sense of humor, and try to relax. And find that me time, find you in all that multitasking, put you as a priority. There you go, put you at the top of the list. So until next time, I'm Kat Corchado. I'm the host of the Sisters in Service podcast. I am a content creator of color. So until next time, stay safe, take care of each other, and until next time.